to another one of my videos. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lotta, and today I'm going to be making this delicious tiramisu cake. Now the first thing we need to do is get our vanilla sponge cake in the oven and baked and let it cool off. So for the actual sponge cake, you're going to need 4 room temperature eggs, a good splash of vanilla, 125 grams of sugar with a pinch of salt, 125 grams of flour, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, as always, we need to whisk up our eggs, vanilla, sugar, and salt until it's tripled in size and super light and fluffy, and you can't feel any sugar in between your fingers. And while that is whisking, we can already sieve together our flour and baking powder. Now before I start whisking up my eggs, I'm also going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 360 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that our eggs are super fluffy like this, we can fold in our dry ingredients. Now I usually sieve it over my egg mixture one more time just to make sure it's that much more airy and fluffy. It'll just help to incorporate better and keep all the air inside of our sponge cake, which is what we want. Now I just transferred it into my pre-lined tin that has a diameter of 22 centimeters. So this just needs to go into our oven for about 30-ish minutes, give or take. You want to make sure that the top is nice and golden brown, and when you put a toothpick into the center, it comes out clean. It's the next day and we can finally finish our tiramisu cake. So the first thing we need to do today is make the sauce that we're going to brush onto our sponge cake layers. So for that, you're going to need 1 shot of espresso, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, and 1 tablespoon of amaretto. You can leave that out if you don't want to add any alcohol to your cake. You could also substitute it for some almond extract, which is about the same. That being said, we're going to add this all into our cup and mix it around until all the cocoa powder is dissolved and it's a nice paste. The second thing on our agenda today is to make the actual filling. So for that, you're going to need 350 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, 30 grams of powdered sugar, a good splash of vanilla, and 500 grams of mascarpone. So we're going to start by just mixing together our mascarpone, vanilla, and powdered sugar, and then separately whisking up our heavy whipping cream. Now we basically just have to put everything together into a nice beautiful cake. So I already took my sponge cake from yesterday that was completely cooled off, and I cut it into 3 even layers. And I also cut the very top off just to make sure that I have a nice flat top. So we're going to start by just adding a teeny tiny bit of our cream to the bottom of our cake platter. That'll just help it from shimmying around. And then we're simply going to add a cake layer, drench it with some of our Espresso Amaretto sauce here, and then add part of our cream until we have no more layers to go up. So that's everything for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, you can give it a thumbs up, and as always, the whole recipe is going to be in the description box below as well.